afternoon and welcome to Life on the Light Side. Oh, I'm back. It's been a few days and just started out to be the weekend, and here it is, Tuesday already. Oh my. Anyway, I apologize that I was gone for a couple of days because I got my second COVID vaccine, and it kind of just made me a little sleepy, drowsy, drained, and I'm getting over it, and it was worth it. It wasn't that horrible. Yeah, my arm hurt a little bit for a couple hours. For a few hours, it felt like I'd been hitting the arm with a battering ram. But not everybody has reactions at all, so don't let that deter you in any way. The bottom line is to get the vaccine, and let's stop this thing so we can, get out of the house and travel freely and, miss it so much and pray we get through it. So, since it's your first time watching Life on the Light Side, our purpose is to just take a break from the downing news, the downer news, and the challenges that we have in life, and to remind us, even for this little period of time, to lighten up. I like to share ways to lighten up, and that's sometimes just silliness, stories, jokes, whatever. So welcome, and we're going to get started. If you like today and you want to see more like it, even different, please go on over to YouTube, and you can search Life on the Light, L-I-T-E side, Alicia Leslie, and you'll find it. You can also subscribe, which will make sure you never miss one of the videos, because I'll let you know when I post it. Now that I think of it, I don't think I uploaded Friday's videos. Then Saturday I got my shot, and the rest is history, and here we are. I'll try to take care of that today. Anyway, it's been a challenging day. I thought everything was doing fine. I even planned to take a little nap before today's video, but I was checking my email, and there was a message in there, something training today, and I went, what? Training? I'm on the licensing and ordination team at Unity, and it's like I didn't remember this training. So I had to go on and do that. In order to do that, I got to tell you, I was planning on taking a shower before the video, and my hair was like, eh. So guess what we got? We got my little pink buddy with us today. Hopefully I'll pop it off and go take a shower before tonight's Rise of the False Gods video. So let's jump right in today to the National Day calendar. And I'm actually going to pop over to the website. It's National Day calendar. And the reason I want to do that is because I did not have the prep time that I usually have to look at the days, and I want to make sure I honor them correctly. So today is National Read Across America Day, and it's a time when we want to encourage reading. And I will say that I am reading a new book. I finished one last week called 90 Minutes in Heaven, which was pretty interesting, about a man who was in a horrible car crash. It's a true story. And he had an experience of heaven, something it took him years to share with anyone, because he thought they'd think he was foolish or heretic or whatever, but that was pretty good. And now I'm reading a book called Gypsy Fuge. It is from a woman who writes memoirs. Her name is Marlene Shuey, and I've mentioned her before. And she teaches writing workshops and stuff like that. And but she always felt she had this inner gypsy inside of her. Well, it rang a bell for me because I find gypsies pretty fascinating. We had, for Girls' Weekend one year, I was writing a story, because every time we have Girls' Weekend, I do a campfire story, and it's got to be a new one special for Girls' Weekend. Well, I did one, but it was called The Curse of the Blood Moon Bride. But I wanted this one to have something to do with gypsies. I just got this idea in my head. And I did some research and I started all this gypsy stuff. Well, it never wound up that the story turned out to be very gypsy, but now I got some homework done in advance because I saved my notes. And so this year we're having a gypsy theme. So I was pretty excited about that. And so I've been reading Gypsy Fuge, which does have a lot of information about the gypsy culture, and also things that you can, movies to watch and books you can read. So that was really, really pretty cool. Reading is great, and we don't do enough of it. You know, I have to admit, I'm pretty spoiled. I'll watch TV and let the TV do my imagining sometimes. But that's not good exercise for your imagination. It's much better if you read and you conjure up the images of the book in your own mind, which is excellent exercise. So then, along with this, it's called Dr. Seuss Day because Dr. Seuss wanted very much for children to read. However, you may or may not have heard this in the news, but 6 of Dr. Seuss's books are being taken out of publication. Now, they may be back, but they're taken out because the images were considered to be racist. I mean, I never saw it that way. I never thought about it that way. I don't know that that would have been Dr. Seuss' intent, but I was pretty disappointed. I'm happy that there weren't any ones that I really particularly love. So hopefully they will come with the issues. I know that one of them was considered racist, was a thing about, it was on something about Mulberry Street. And it had a picture of a Chinese person running along with, I think, a thing of food and chopsticks and a pointy hat, the pointy, like the ones that they wear out in the rice fields. And I did not see that so much as racist as, like if you see someone in a sari, there's a pretty good idea they're Indian. That doesn't make it bad, right or wrong. But then again, it's a crazy, crazy world, and we try to live in peace and harmony in spite of it. I'm just wondering if we don't get too oversensitive. So it's telling you to read and encourage children to read to children, and to let children read to you, which I think is pretty exciting. So that is the Read Across America Day. It's World Teen Mental Wellness Day. Kids are so emotional, and they've got, as you get to be a teenager and you're working through puberty and you don't know whether you want to be a kid or whether you want to be a grown-up, but you think you want to be a grown-up, but you don't have to do the things grown-ups do. And then pile on top of that a pandemic and challenges in the government, and so it's especially important time to try to support kids in mental wellness, and we want to make sure that they have a shot for happiness. We've talked about it before. A strong family to support them is priceless. Okay, and they talk in there about the Hollister Confidence Report. And it's an initiative dedicated to helping all teens worldwide feel their most confident, comfortable, and capable. So let's keep that in our hearts and minds. And today is Old Stuff Day. Woohoo! Made for me. I wasn't going to have this sweater on because it's kind of ugly, but it got so cold in the house. It's like 24 degrees or something outside, and the wind is blowing up to 45 miles an hour. And when it gets like that, there's no way to keep my little cottage as warm as I'd like it. So I spend minutes going and standing in front of my little heater and just standing there looking out the window and warming up. And so that caused me to put on this sweater. And since it's Old Stuff Day, this old thing is 35 years old, and I wear it. It's actually 36 this year. I wear it all the time. I love it. What can I tell you? Okay, and a lot of the things they're suggesting for Old Stuff Day is to use an old item for a new use, to look at things from a new perspective, to break your routine and do something totally different, to take something old and freshen it up, clean it, paint it, fix it, or just give it a haircut. Oh, that's why we got the pink wig. I need a haircut. Trying so hard to hold off long enough for the second COVID shot to be locked in and doing its job when I get a haircut, which is going to be like the 13th. We'll see if we can get that done. Okay, and it is Banana Cream Pie Day. And that may or may not happen by the end of the day. I am not necessarily there today because come afternoon, my energy wanes. And so what's probably going to happen after our visit today is I am probably going to have my little afternoon wine and cheese and crackers and because I need to it. Yes, Anna, Anna's asking, she gave me a book, and she's asking, did I read it? I have started it. And so I can tell you that. And I'm going to keep on plugging along at it. I usually read more than one book at a time, which means I do it very slowly. But, everybody has different learning methods, and that is mine. Okay, so let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to add to that? So, I want to give you an update on, where I'm at. And I am feeling better. I was really, I got the second vaccination on Saturday. And then I started to, I was okay Saturday afternoon, but by Saturday evening, I was really, really exhausted. And my sister called, was that Saturday? It was either Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. But my sister called and she said, one of my friends brought over some soup and it's way more than I can eat. And I thought you might like to have some for your dinner. And I said, usually we walk and we meet by the mailbox if we swap out food. And because it's a little bit of a distance from my house to her house. And it's not like huge, but when it's cold and windy and stuff. And I said, no, I said, I really thank you. I just cannot get up and put on gear and go on out there. I can't do it. Not today. So thank you very much. And she said, I'll bring it over. And bless her heart. And I put it on the counter and because I didn't want to eat. So I just went back and laid down on the couch. And later that evening, I got hungry and I ate some soup and it was very delicious. But that's the kind of, and then the next day, you wake up in the morning and you feel like, this is good. I'm good. And then come afternoon, you crash and burn. So that's where I'm at right now, trying to get back to normal here. And so, but I consider myself still in low gear. My hair was so hideous. I had to put the wig on because I kept trying. I kept to comb it this way and put a hairband on and put one of those little things I have, the little clip-on base. Nothing worked. Nothing. So here I am. What I'll look like tonight, I don't know. So I one of the things I did last week is I thought about what I would like to do is kind of dedicate different days for different things for our afternoon with Life on the Light side. And so one of the ways I'm looking at it is that I'm going to have Mondays as like a wrap up, catch up. How was your weekend? What happened on my weekend thing? And of course, it's going to get pretty crazy pretty soon because it is going to be camping season. And so I got to make my sweater even. Now, it's really hideous. This sweater is really hideous. We might think that it looks great, but it doesn't. So it's kind of got like little balls all over it. I've shaved it before. I actually take my razor and shave these little thingies off my sweater. But for 35 years, really wearing it to death. It's a good thing. Okay, back to where I was. So Monday's going to be like ketchup day, and Tuesday is going to be food day. And like I was thinking about when the thought entered my mind, I was thinking about Mickey Mouse Club, and I just only basically remember the theme song for Wednesday. Today is a day that is full of surprises. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. Yeah, always remember your Mickey Mouse Club. Well, so right this moment, I'm kind of holding Tuesday would be food day. And because I didn't have much prep time today, I wanted to go ahead with food day. And I wanted to talk about my written, not published, being reassembled, disassembled book, The Bride Guide, a cookbook of sorts and other things. And it's really quite humorous. And as I keep thinking about what book am I going to work on next, one of the things I have done is I've gone back to working on my Secret of Sweetwater Stream, getting ready to complete the recording for that. And then I'll have it back up and published. But I want to go through it because I keep catching little snags I want to fix and stuff like that. So anyway, this is my book. There we go. That's my book waiting to be reassembled. And I'm going to tell you the story about it. And for those of you that I've already told the story, I apologize for being repetitive, but this is these good things are worth repeating. So when I was expecting my twins, my best friend was getting married, and we were broke. And I thought, oh, what will I give her? I have nothing to give her. Shortly after that, I went to the grocery store. And I was walking down the aisles of the store with my oldest child sitting in the little thing of the carriage and pushing it along. And all of a sudden, I looked up on the shelf, and it was beyond my imagination. It was a package of gravy mix. And right next to it was a package of stew mix. And I was like, what? Because, gravy, what's gravy but taking the meat out of the pan and stirring in some flour and cooking it and making gravy. And, I couldn't figure out this mix. What's in that mix? Flour and salt and pepper? So you're going to pay, I think that was like 50 cents or 20 cents or something. You understand that was more than 50 years ago. But you said, what? You're going to buy this thing that you could make so free? So you got to think about this, because not only do you have the ingredients that you're overpaying for, but you also have the packaging that you're throwing out, that much of it. And if you don't know this, you need to know this. A lot of the packaging that you buy, like if you're to buy that gravy mix, that taco mix, whatever, it's got a wrapping. Sometimes it's like a foil wrapping, but there's also inside a plastic lining. And in the way that it's fused together, that is not recyclable. And the same thing, sorry to upset some folks, same thing with K-Cups. Please, please stop using K-Cups. If you have a coffee maker that takes K-Cups, you can buy a little container that you refill with coffee grounds, pop it closed and stick it in the Keurig, whatever it is, and make your coffee that way. You can, make your own pods, as it were. But please, please stop using K-cups because they are so horribly wasteful, non-recyclable. So think on that, please. So anyway, we get back to these mixes, and I am astounded. I mean, I was stopped dead in my tracks. And I couldn't believe it. And I said, well, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to give for Cheryl. I'm going to give her, for her wedding, a cookbook. I'm going to write her a cookbook because a lot of brides don't know how to cook. And if they're trying to sell all these mixes to you, for excess money, well, a lot of times couples don't have all the money in the world to get started. And so I said, I think that is the perfect idea. So I wrote her a cookbook, and here it is. Except that I made hers into an actual book, and I think she liked it. But I mean, I sat at the old typewriter. It was hilarious, and that's what I would like to encourage you guys to always remember. There's a way. Just because it's not a good idea to do it this way, that doesn't mean there's not another way to do it this way. So I think what I want to stress to you today is about cooking is way simpler than you think it is. If you're a single person, good thing. So you make it and it lasts more days. And if it's something you can freeze it. Yesterday I made Impossible Quiche. Now, I've talked before about the Impossible Pumpkin Pie and the Impossible Banana Cream Pie. I got a couple bananas in the fridge. That may happen today. Yeah. So anyway, I made the Impossible Quiche, and I made it with like a vegetarian. It's kind of like ham. It's got kind of a smoky. It's got the right texture. I love it. So I use that and red and green peppers and onions. And you just you grease a pie pan, put in the veggies, put all the other ingredients in the blender. And I have a what do you call it? Vitamix. Love my Vitamix. If you ever get a chance to get a Vitamix, get the Vitamix. It's really good. So anyway, I made the quiche, and it called for a 9-inch pie pan. Because I had only an 8-inch pie pan, I also made a little Corningware, Pyrex, whatever container of it. That's what I had for breakfast and lunch today. And when I was done with my supper, I had the leftover little one that I had today, and then I had 3 pieces, and they went in the freezer. 2 pieces will go in my sister's freezer, so we'll be enjoying it in the summer, and the other piece is in the freezer for me for one of those nights when I just don't feel like cooking. So you don't have to, even if there's not that many people in the house to eat it. And if there is, you can make double batches of stuff. Because there's days you feel like cooking and there's days you don't feel like cooking. But maybe if we do this little cooking thing on Tuesdays, maybe I'll be able to share some stuff with you about food. And I'm not going to be doing cooking demonstrations, I don't think. You never know with me, but I might. But you'll learn how to do things the easy way and to enjoy it. And maybe or maybe not, watch me see if I can put my bride guide. That's what I call the book, the bride guide, a cookbook of sorts and other things. It had a chapter on aphrodisiacs, which frankly I could care less about anymore. 50 years ago is a big difference. So, Lord have mercy. But for those of you that are married and into that thing, maybe you need a little aphrodisiac in your life. But the book was so total woman, it'll gag you. I'm kind of rewriting it more like a satire, but I think that's it. I got all these ideas running in my head, and I have to sort them out. So if I have to sort out ideas, what do I need? I need my Post-its. Now that's my tip of the day. You gotta have your Post-its. If you go to Facebook and you type in my name and then you click to my homepage, you're going to see my computer with Post-it notes stuck all over it, because that's one of the ways I sort out my thoughts when I'm writing. So we'll see what happens with the Bride Guide. And I'm just going to take a quick look. I've got a couple minutes, so I just want to take a quick look. I'll be right back in my documents and see if I have the opening chapter of the book. One second. Let's see. I would do it here. I probably don't, because it was probably on my computer that bit the dust, and I have to try to get the information back from the guy who's trying to draw it all out of the old hard drive. Okay. Oh, it's here in some form. Let me see. Notes. Notes. I think it's just notes, but this may be cute. Hold on. Nope, that's just a picture. But I'll tell you what it's a picture of. Back in the day, when I was really broke. It's not like you can't be broke and happy. You can. But anyway, when we would go to the grocery store, let me know if any of you are old enough to remember this. There was a thing called a clicker. And a clicker you would hold in your hand, and it had pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever. It had four or five little buttons that you would push down. So if you bought, something that was $1.99, you'd get $1.99, and you'd be doing your little clicker through the grocery store to make sure you didn't overspend. Now today, see, here's another thing. You know how people complain about, jobs going overseas and all this other stuff? Well, another thing, it's a good news, bad news thing, is technology and grocery shopping. Because you can go to Stop and Shop and you get a scanner. So as you're going through the store, you scan your stuff and put it right in the box. Well, that's a checker that's out of a job. And probably a stock or somebody else is not working because I got my clicker. I'm doing, except I've got a scanner now. It does it for me. But on the other hand, it adds up. Every time you scan something, you know what you spent on groceries. And I must say that it helps to know how much you owe. I will not say it's a deterrent for me. Even if I see I'm getting a little higher. I don't know what it's going to be like when I go back to shopping, because I have not been shopping in a year. So we'll see what happens with that. So anyway, my time is up for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you look forward to whatever is up for tomorrow. Should I make it Anything Can Happen Day? I don't know. We'll have to see. Until then, my dear friends, do remember the importance of keeping it on the light side, and have a bright, beautiful, better than average day. Bye-bye.